Welcome everybody back to another exclusive outdoor video. No, not even a video.
It's not a video.
podcast.
It's an audio.
It's an audio.
For the vision impaired.
Vision impaired.
But no, this is the first ever exclusive outdoors podcast. Today we have Paul and a special star. Mort on Mondays. Mort's Meat Mafia.
Mort on Monday.
Mr. Mort.
Morton Salt. Salt.
Had to get that in there.
Yeah.
So basically with this podcast, we are going to be talking throughout several episodes of hunting, fishing, smoking meats, trap shooting, anything outdoor related, really. Even talking about bees and beekeeping and hives and all that stuff.
The birds and the bees conversations.
Birds and the bees.
Birds and the bees. But, yeah. And eventually we'll have video attached with this as
Yes.
well. So.
There will be...
Wait, we're going to talk about birds and bees in videos?
Hey.
Hey, that ain't this kind of podcast.
And you
It's
usually
exclusive.
you gotta pay for that kind of action.
Yeah, you gotta double down. But I think with today's video, or I keep saying video, I'm so used to making videos. With the podcast, in today's, we're just going to kind of explain what we do, what our hobbies are, what we kind of quote unquote specialize in,
What we bring to the table.
what we offer to this lovely podcast. And throughout several other episodes, we'll have other special guest stars and stuff like that on here to talk to. But just to kind of kick things off, I'll start and we'll just go around the table and talk about what we do. And then after that, we'll just go from there. So, my name is Jonathan. You usually see me in the videos a lot hunting. I specialize in just regular hunting, all sorts of shapes and sizes.
Regular hunting?
Regular hunting, as in just your,
No, abnormal hunting.
Non-specific?
just like good old like fashioned bolt action rifle or archery.
Archery.
Is archery regular hunting?
I'm not sure.
I feel like traditional and like longbow. That's where it gets a little
it gets
non-regular.
non-regular.
That's why it's called traditional.
Traditional. I also
What was once regular is
Yeah.
now not so much.
When you're flinging arrows at sparrows.
100 years ago, no, like 200 years ago was stick,
Yeah.
but now it's
Stick and string.
everything's changed. But I also do fishing, fly fishing, bass fishing. I have a kayak bass setup, fishing kayak. I do that here and there. Also some tournaments with it. We do trap. Like I said, we dabble with the bees a little bit.
And this year we're starting something completely out of the realm that we've ever done before. We are going to try to make maple syrup.
Oh, yeah. That'd be something cool.
Yes.
Always fun making maple syrup, as I have no idea about it. I know it's gonna be fun.
It's going to be cool.
It'd be cool.
But that's kind of what I have to bring to the table. Paul, what do you got to offer?
Well, okay, I'll keep it PG.
PG-13.
Okay. I'm Paul. I'm Jonathan's his father-in-law. I pretty much hunt. I don't fish very much anymore. I'm trying to get back into it a little bit. Try to do some carp bow fishing this year. But with hunting, I do the small game. I love squirrel hunting. That's probably my favorite thing to do. Archery, inline muzzleloader. We tried to do a little bit of bear hunting. We're not real good at it. Well, but we're getting in with some guys that they kind of know what they're doing and everything. And doing some coyote hunting. We shoot trap. Just things like that. That's pretty much what I enjoy doing anytime I get some free time. And here's Mort.
And I am Mort. I grew up with Paul as a kid and had moved away for a while. Now moved back into the area.
He was in jail.
Jail.
Yeah. He didn't move away. He was forced away.
Shh, don't tell all my
Federal
secrets.
prison.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, so yeah, I've been up in the Potter County area for the last 25 years.
The mountains.
Ish. The mountains.
Literally
AKA
on a hill.
God's country.
It's like
God's
you can
country.
walk 50 miles each way and not find a town.
Not find a dang thing. The Potter County itself, one red light in the whole county.
Hey, and they have a sheet. So that's
We have a
something.
sheets though too. Yeah, there's a
So
sheets out there.
you're there somewhere
We're on the map.
on the mountain.
You can get it at that MTO.
So what I bring to the table. So I do like to hunt and fish. I'm the owner of a pontoon boat, a couple other boats too.
The Jean Marie.
The Jean Marie. So the Jean Marie.
Is it the Jean Marie or the G Marie?
The Regina Ann.
Oh, I always call it the Jean Marie.
Regina Ann, named after my mother. So, yeah. So I also do a bit of barbecuing. I've been doing that for quite some time now, which has kind of taken me out of the hunting and fishing as much as I used to. I kind of got into the barbecue thing, and
Especially with the end of the season, the barbecue season's right around when archery season and stuff is hitting, and
yeah,
kind of limits your time.
yeah, it limits my time there. And it's barbecuing, and of course we like to barbecue all the time anyway. And I do some.
You
I
said
said
do.
I do a little bit of catering here and there when I can, helping out with some stuff. So a little bit of mess around with there. I have a couple large smokers. We'll introduce them someday. But yeah,
Several large smokers.
several. So lots of fun playing with that, and we'd like to maybe do some incorporating the hunting and fishing in with the smoking on some future episodes.
Yes.
Kind of fun playing with that. So I'm like the snack guy. Matter of fact, we all got here together, and I made some jalapeno poppers and stuffed mushrooms yesterday, and I used my leftover filling for some I don't know what you want to call them, sausage stars. I think is what the name they call
They
them.
look like the crab rangoon wrappers almost.
Yeah, like the wonton wrappers.
Wonton.
But it was a nice little snack. I mean,
Very delicious, as
That-
always.
And what I brought to the table was the suggestion for the jalapeno slice in it, which just pushed it
just
over.
pushed it over the top.
I always wanted to say it was a flavor explosion in my mouth.
PG-13.
Well, hey, that's what they say on diners, drive-ins, and dives.
Triple D.
Guy
Triple
Fieri.
D. I don't understand how they get Fieri out of that spelling of that name. I don't know.
Fieri.
Witchcraft.
But to wrap around back to Paul,
You want?
he is like the only person I know that small game hunts, as in squirrel hunts.
You score hunt with me, so
That is true, but before I started hunting with you, I have never really squirrel hunted.
and
unless I was like 5.
Sam also likes to squirrel hunt as well.
Yeah,
Okay,
you'll see
here we
Sam.
go.
You'll see Sam or hear Sam on
Sam I hear.
Sam I hear.
Sam is at a bowling alley.
Bowling alley.
Boo,
He's at a bowling
Sam.
tournament at a bowling alley.
Is he bowling or
Yeah.
watching?
Well, he was bowling.
On the sidelines. He's setting up the pins.
Hey,
Hey.
grab your balls. Let's go bowling.
He's the bull. He's the bull.
Poor Sam. Out bowling. Could be on the podcast.
He could be on the podcast and said
That was a song that they played.
that was the song we
Okay,
played.
yeah. Well,
Grab your balls. Let's go bowling. it is a song.
it's a
real
real.
song.
It's the same group that sings "Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer." I do believe.
Oh,
Got
I
you
just
there.
heard it up at the Legion. They were
It's a generation
yes.
thing.
You don't like polkas?
Polkas?
It
No.
was a polka, by the way.
Well,
The guy on the accordion freaking rocks it, man. Get
He
that
gets all the ladies.
the Polkish ladies.
He's got a lot of fingers moving at one time.
He's busy. He's busy.
And then the squeeze,
yeah. Yeah, so Daddy's got a squeeze box.
talent.
So, what do we want to dive in here just a little bit?
let's dive into a little bit. So, what did we do this morning? We spent some time.
Yes.
We were a part of a club
An
that
organization of fine gentlemen.
fine gentlemen.
The finest gentlemen you can find.
Ordinary men.
Yeah. So we shooting trap this morning,
Yes.
and it is our if you want to call it a winter league. I don't think there's really much league about it. We all
Just show up when you want to show up.
So we shoot however many rounds we want to, and we kind of sometimes we are serious, but more likely not. We just have fun.
And it doesn't Winter League does not translate what the summer looks like.
Yeah.
It's completely different. But it's fun. It keeps you out. You get to get together with the guys and get to shoot the guns a little bit. And
As we like to call truck stuff around here.
yes, got to do some trucks.
The truck stuff.
Yeah. So we had fun today, except for about 3 rounds in, which the club's the trap machine is old and getting replaced, and what a way to send it out, right, John?
That's right. There's only one way we could do to retire that machine today.
Halfway through the 3rd round, it breaks.
12 shots in, and
Arm gets stuck, something's wedged. It involved a small sledgehammer.
Yes. So and they're in the process of putting a new one in anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
and we had the most people show up today than we've had the whole winter, trying to shoot. We probably had, about 12 people there today? Something like
Yeah.
that. And,
Nothing
yeah,
to do.
it was nice. Everyone's going to shoot like 2 rounds. It brings a little bit of money to the club, and, it's fun.
Yeah. It gets you out on days that sometimes you would just stay inside.
Yeah, we've shot when it's like 4 degrees.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a little chilly.
cold and
It
windy.
gets rough out there.
You have to hurry up when you're done shooting, run back up to the club to warm yourself.
Stand in front of the heater.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, with the trap we talk about, we're kind of serious about it, I feel. We're not,
Yeah.
we're not going to impress somebody, but
Right.
we do our own reloads for the shells.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Winter League is our time to step back and try something new, something different.
Yeah.
Different chokes.
Change up
You know.
stance.
Mort
chokes.
just bought a new choke today, or
Yeah,
this week.
speaking of,
What is the name of that choke?
So I'm in the Hollidaysburg area. I was at work, and I don't know, this is past summer league. My cousin was talking about it. My dad got into talking about it. He wanted a try a different choke, something, I don't know.
Extended choke. is what
Extended
the-
choke, but I don't know. I don't for what reason he decided he wanted to try these.
I think he just wanted the barrel to be longer. To be honest with you, I think that was the main.
You think that was?
Yeah, because he was shooting a 30-inch trap gun, and some of the other guys they make up to 34.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They
So
can.
I think he wanted like a 30, like 2 inches or something like that.
So I work in Hollidaysburg, and I actually found Pattern Master is a company that is actually in Hollidaysburg, PA, and so I went over on Friday and talked to him, and it was kind of cool. I got to go in. It was just a small little building, and they had 3 people in there working, all kinds of packages of different chokes, and the guys were very knowledgeable. They asked what I was doing and what I wanted it for, and they gave me some ideas. And the one that it's an extended ported choke, and
You shot rather well with it today.
well, yeah. I mean, I broke a
23.
23 first round with it, so I was pretty happy about that. So it worked
Absolutely.
well. Supposedly, the explanation is that it catches the wad coming out, slows it down, so it doesn't mess with your BB pattern. And I can't say it doesn't work because
Yeah, it shot good. And those chokes, all those chokes are different because, Mort and John, they can both pick up the birds when they leave the trap house rather quick. They shoot them pretty quick. I do not pick them up as quick, and I shoot them further away. So I typically use a tighter choke where they can get away with shooting a choke that spreads the BBs a little bit wider. So Yeah, I'm curious. I might try to get one of those chokes, see what
And locally, the cool part was that particular choke that I picked up was like $90, but because I'm local and I went in and talked to them, they're like, "Oh yeah, and that if you're interested, we have these slightly used ones." And they pulled out this little bin and went through it, and they found one in the bin that was they took $30 off. I mean, what the heck?
Yeah.
And it had a couple rounds through it, and
It's worth it. Like if you take it serious, and even if you get one more bird per round, yeah. Because look at some of the guys that buy the trap guns, just to get an extra bird, they'll spend, some of those Brownings are up to like $4,000. I have my trap guns are like 800-900. Jonathan's is like 500 or 600.
Yeah.
Mort's is like 500 or 600. And you know what? And they all seem to shoot just fine. It's just
like 2 weeks, not even 2 weeks, like a month ago. Let's say a month ago, I
Yeah.
broke a 24.
Yeah.
24 out of 25. That's pretty good in my books.
Yeah, and
with
then
just a
there's-
$500 gun.
there's guys that and there's guys that come with $1,000 guns, $1,500 guns, and then the summer league we see a lot of very expensive guns, and they got the adjustable cheek pieces and recoil
Stocks.
pads, stocks, everything's just. And me and Mort have had this conversation before, like 50 years ago, even 20 years ago, they didn't have all these options on stuff. You just learned to shoot what you had. So, Mort's dad had a Model 12 that's probably 50, 60 years old, if that.
yeah, he's shot traps so much out of that thing. It's been rebuilt a few times.
Yeah.
Smoothest gun I've ever shot. Absolutely smooth.
And you shot a 21 out
Yeah,
of
my
the
first week I shot trap last winter. Last
Yeah.
winter, 21.
Yep, that was something.
She's
But-
a beaut.
Was it built perfectly for him? No, probably not. You're taking a chance, and he got it, and he learned how to shoot really well with it.
Yeah.
So
I think I shot a second round with it, and then like the
forearm,
forearm like popped off, and I'm like, oh no,
I broke your gun.
I just broke your gun.
Like,
Yeah.
no, I come back, put it back together. Yeah.
Yeah. He retired right
He's like pounding on the ground. It's good.
Yep, he retired it after that.
Yeah.
Then he got the new one, but
Yeah. So actually, talking about that, I mean, we're all shooting something different, and I'm talking about what it is. We haven't really talked about what we actually are shooting.
Right.
So, you get some guys, single barrel, double barrel, whatever works for you, whatever you want to try. I'm actually using a Savage Stevens, the 5.55, and it's a trap gun, and it's a single barrel,
30 inch barrel, yeah.
break open, and so that's what I'm shooting.
And I shoot a Mossberg Gold Edition, 30-inch. It's over and under. It's big. You can use it for birds and stuff. It's an over and under, but it's double 30-inch barrels with the extended. It actually comes with the extended choke tubes. Just beautiful gun. It shoots rather well. I had to make some adjustments. The stock, the length of pull wasn't. It was not long enough for me. I'm like 6'1". I got some orangutan arms, so I had to make some adjustments on the stock, the recoil pad and stuff. But once I got that fitted, it was like a whole other world shooting. Everything just fell into place. So, yep. And John,
My gun is just a step under Paul's. It is the Mossberg Silver Edition with, I believe, just a 28-inch barrel.
no, you have 30.
Is it a 30?
Yeah, yep.
But mine does not have the extended chokes.
But you could buy them if you wanted.
Yeah, I could put them in there.
The only difference.
A particular one.
The gold edition, the wood's a little bit nicer, the bluing's a little bit nicer, and the I guess it would be like the receiver part. Mine has like etched. It's like artwork detailed, and John's just has like a Mossberg, emblem and
Just your basic,
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's like, when I bought it, I didn't want to invest $1,000 or plus in something I might not even want to try again next season. But
But you got hooked.
I instantly got hooked.
And we don't know, like, they tell you the $4,000 guns are going to last longer. You don't know. We have no idea. There's guys that we saw shooting. They were shooting Remington 870, just like Fieldmaster, just run of the mill 28-inch barrel guns, and that's all they ever shot, or Winchesters, or there was a couple guys I even brought single barrels out, just like a single shot H&R.
I have another gun that I won years ago, and it actually has a 28-inch barrel on it. It's a Stoeger over and under. And we have another guy that didn't have a gun to shoot, so he's been using that gun.
He shoots rather well with it. It's like it fits him really good.
Yeah.
So
it's just the fact that you just got to get some rounds through it and get comfortable with the gun and how it's shooting.
Even with us, we've shot. I shot all summer, practiced. John didn't get to shoot summer with us, but we're still learning how to pattern your gun. You can't just because when you shoot it on paper, it doesn't really translate on when you're trying to shoot flying object, and there's some days that when you hit them, it just completely pulverizes them, and then the next week you're like knocking chips out of them, which still counts as a break, but they're not breaking up, so you're not exactly sure where the pattern is really truly hitting at. So it just takes time, and whenever you first start, I think when I first started, I was shooting I think I shot a 10. I brought definitely the wrong choke on the gun. Then I was shooting average 12 to 15 most of the winter months until I got that other gun. And, I was always asking, what's the secret to doing it? And the older guys just keep shooting. You'll figure it out. And, they gave you some suggestions on your feet placement and, how to swing through and different things like that. But truly, you just have to keep shooting because – we're all three of us here. We're shooting in the 20s. We could probably shoot on average. I think last year my average was through the year. The first half I was 19 something, then the second half I was a 22. So I averaged a 20.5, 20.7, something like that. I know this year we can definitely easily average a 22.
Yeah.
And you try to tell somebody how to do it, and it's
it's hard to explain.
It's very hard to explain.
How do you aim? I just shoot it.
Yeah.
Like to have to stop and explain that and to think about it. I'd probably really miss if I had to think. If I was literally trying to shoot and think how would I tell myself how I'm going to do this?
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably miss it because I'd be getting too much in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just a reaction.
Well, and the thing is when Mort, he shot 19 straight. And I knew he shot 19 straight, and then which you missed the 20.
Well, it was 18, and then I missed 19 and 20.
Yeah,
2 in a row, and I was but
they weren't even the hard ones.
No, they weren't.
They were just
by that time because I started in the number 4 post. So 4, 5, 1 was on the number 2 post.
Yeah,
but I will tell you, it's been a long time since I
felt that.
I felt that.
Yeah,
and when you feel it, when you're shooting like that, and you're you're putting pressure on yourself because that's all it was. But I was like, oh my goodness,
yeah,
it's gonna. And then I was like, you almost get to a frustrating part. You're like, just get the miss out of the way so we can move on.
Now last summer I had 2 that I shot 19 in a row, and we were shooting out of Pad Sportsman's, and I didn't spray. Hey, is that a train?
Is there a train rolling through?
There's no trains in Galitzin.
Trains in Galitzin.
And I was in shorts, and when it's certain times we'll always put the off or bug spray on and everything. And when I get to a position to shoot, I don't move my feet at all. I keep them clean. I don't change anything. And I don't know if it was a grasshopper or something landed on my leg, and I used my other foot, and the very next shot I missed. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You know what I mean? The 19 in a row.
Yeah.
And then I missed 2 in a row. Then I finished with a 23. And then the next time, the whole season, it's sometimes when you're yelling pull for the bird to fly out, sometimes the bird doesn't come out. Yeah, just sometimes the microphone doesn't pick it up or whatever. And you'll pull, and there's nothing. Or you'll pull, and then the bird will disintegrate. It just blows apart before it goes in the air. So the whole season, anytime that happened, I never missed after I had to yell pull again. I shot 19 in a row, and I yelled pull, and nothing came out. I yelled pulled again, and I missed it.
And those are just mental things. You just
Yeah.
in your head, just I mean, whether you move your feet or not, it shouldn't matter a whole lot. But I think in your head, you're already like, oh crap,
But
I
it's
changed
just-
something.
But wherever you're comfortable, sometimes you pull the gun up to your shoulder, and it just
Doesn't feel
it
right.
doesn't feel right. You got to take it down, and even when you take it down, and you put it back.
It's just not. It's just not right.
It's just
It's
something
all the
not
time.
right, and you can do it 3 or 4 times, and it just does not shoulder right, and then you just try to do with the best. Then the next time,
Because like, isn't the stance? Aren't you supposed to be feet facing forward on the mat?
There are so many different ways, and I've watched guys break 25s, and they will come up to the front of that pad
Mhm.
and put both feet straight forward, and their bodies, like even on the number 5 post, because you have to swing through it.
Right.
There's a whole lot of. I have no idea how they do it. Like I tried it, I didn't do bad with it, but to me it wasn't comfortable.
but all
Right.
3 of us have a different stance. Jonathan, he stands pretty much straight up, but I think as long as you keep the weight on the front foot, that's the key to everything. It doesn't matter how far your feet are apart, because if you have all your weight on your back foot, and when you're swinging, it's so easy just to
go up.
go up and you
Yeah.
shoot right over top of it. So that's, and if you watch the videos, they tell you that your toes should line up, and there's most trap fields will have where the out of bounds is or whatever, where the birds are supposed to fly within these 2 points. And sometimes it would just be like a white stick or something like that. And you line your toes up to the one, like if you're right-handed, you line your toes up like there's an imaginary line that runs from your toes to the far right out of bounds mark. And that way you can swing, you're open up to swing any direction. So, but there's some people that shoot like that, some people don't.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and somebody who's breaking at 25 that looks odd to you,
Yeah.
whatever. Who might have tell them what to do?
And then-
It's working for
and,
them.
and some of those guys, like I like to wait a good 2-3 seconds before, right after someone else shoots. But there's some guys that as soon as they'll pull, and those birds are 10 feet out of that bird, the house, and the next guy's already yelling pull,
Yeah.
and it's just like I don't understand how they can do that. I really don't, but
And then you have long pauses after certain, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
just what
you're
you
right.
get. People. Well, I think what worked for us last year was normally when we would go to a shoot, whether it was at home or at another place, we had the same 5 guys
yep,
at the same posts every time.
Yep.
So you kind of get used to the cycle. You know who's going to take a little longer. Who nobody's rushing it. Nobody's pushing each other.
and it's
I think that worked
amazing.
well.
If the first 2 guys are on, it kind of sets the tone for the whole line. It really does.
You
Like,
think so?
oh yeah, because there was times where we shot, like last summer, I think we were out of Culver, and we shot like what? There was only 1 missed out of the first round. Okay, everybody was just pounding. We're like, oh yeah, here we go. It was just amazing that happened. But all of us, we shot in the 20s that round. It just, I don't know. I guess it's like with any sport. It just.
Well, we noticed today. The other thing too, you're talking about that. Like you go out there and you have one relay that goes up and does really well, but by the time you get to the end of the night, 5-6 relays in, the weather can change, and it does some really cool stuff. Like the Winter League is for us. We saw it this morning. We had it seemed like when we first started shooting, the birds were going out and going up. They were rising.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they were coming out. They weren't going up at all, straight out and down. It was like, holy crap! They're barely covering the top of the house.
So, and if you're used to that, you have to make the adjustments. So, and some of the different places where we shoot trap at, sometimes they'll come out of that off the trap and they're like tilted. Like that one place we went, you could see the top of the bird when you go. You shouldn't see the top of the bird,
right?
But yeah. So
How we doing on time there, John?
Well, we are currently at the almost 30-minute marker. So if you guys want to wrap it up,
I think it's wrap it up.
wrap it up.
We come up with some good ideas. I don't know what we got going on or when we're going to get to the next podcast, but
Or who will be on it,
or who will be on it. Oh, yeah, so hopefully we'll have some special guests along the way.
Yes.
We are a bunch of guys talking about guy stuff.
Bunch
So
of guys being a bunch of dudes.
yeah, so we'd like to maybe in the future bring on some other people, particular subjects. Who knows what
Yeah.
it might be, but guy stuff.
Just a bunch of guys stuff. Got anything you want to add before we wrap it up there, Paul?
I think that if anybody, I don't know how many people are going to listen or watch or whatever, but if anybody has these, some suggestions on some topics and stuff, we've come up with, some different things, and hopefully people enjoy it. Just some different stuff. And if you guys have comments or you guys want to see something, or if you guys, just leave a comment in the section, and
Okay.
Yeah, this will definitely most likely be on our YouTube channel, Exclusive Outdoors. I'm going to try and work a way where I don't have to share the YouTube channel on the Facebook for the podcast. I just have the audio file straight on Facebook to listen to. But like Paul said, if you guys have anything you want us to particularly talk about, throw it in the comments, please.
Yeah, maybe we know something about it. Maybe we don't have a clue, but we'll just talk about it.
Yeah, we'll throw what we think about it.
and
We'll make up some.
And we might be able to ask, we might have some questions and we might just let it out there and you guys might know the answers to. You guys might help us out a little bit.
For sure, yeah. Anything trap related.
Trap related, hunting wise.
Fishing, whatever, what you guys think on certain choke tubes on guns versus what Mort said today.
Yeah.
So definitely leave your feedback in the comment section, whether it's on Facebook or on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm not sponsored by Pattern Master, but Pattern Master.
We need to get some guy with like a real deep voice that just says like what
Pattern Master.
Wow.
Oh my
All
gosh.
right, buddy.
So hopefully everything with the audio came out great. Fingers crossed, sat here for a half hour trying to really figure this out, but we got everything working, hopefully.
And we took pictures of it, so
It's,
the soundboard, so we kind of know what it needs to look like.
Yes.
John, quit pushing buttons.
I'm over here pushing buttons. I'm like, oh, there's a noise. And I push the button. I'm like, now I can't hear anybody. But that's just going to wrap up today's podcast, I think. So what are we at? We're at 33 minutes right now.
That's
I know some
perfect.
people do an hour, but that's like,
Oh, we could talk. We could talk, but just wrap it up.
just for this podcast episode, which is just like a little bit of a dabble into things. So, but like Mort said, new guests, new topics, what you guys want to leave in the comments, it's up to you guys. We'll talk about it.
We'll try to keep you entertained.
We will debate about anything.
Hmm.
So, but until next time, guys got to keep it exclusive.
Absolutely.
Keep it exclusive.
Exclusivity.
Exclusivity.